Narendra entered the room and saluted the master. They began to talk together. Presently, the master came down from the couch and sat on the floor, on which a mat had been spread. In the meantime, the room had become filled with people, both devotees and visitors. Master to Narendra. Are you well? I hear that you often visit Girish Ghosh at his house. Is it true? Narendra. Yes, sir. I go there now and then. Girish had been visiting Sri Ramakrishna for some months. The master said that none could fathom the depth of Girish's faith, and his longing for God was as intense as his faith was deep. At home, he was always absorbed in the thought of Sri Ramakrishna. Many of the master's devotees visited him. They talked only about Sri Ramakrishna. But Girish was a householder who had had varied experiences of worldly life, and the master knew that Narendra would renounce the world, that he would shun woman and gold, both mentally and outwardly. Master. Do you visit Girish frequently? No matter how much one washes a cup that has contained a solution of garlic, still a trace of the smell will certainly linger. The youngsters who come here are pure souls, untouched by woman and gold. Men who have associated a long time with woman and gold smell of the garlic, as it were. They are like a mango pecked by crows. Such a fruit cannot be offered to the deity in the temple, and you would hesitate to eat it yourself. Again, take the case of a new pot and another in which curd has been made. One is afraid to keep the milk in the second pot, for the milk very often turns sour. Householder devotees like Girish form a class by themselves. They desire yoga and also bhog. Their attitude is that of Ravan, who wanted to enjoy the maidens of heaven and at the same time realize Ram. They are like the Asuras, the demons, who enjoy various pleasures and also realize Narayan. Narendra. But Girish has given up his old associates. Master. Yes. He is like a bull, castrated in old age. In Bardwan, I once saw an ox moving about the cows. I asked a bullock cart driver, "What is this? An ox? How strange!" he said to me. True, sir, but it was castrated in old age, and so it hasn't altogether shaken off the old tendencies. In a certain place, there sat some Shonnashis. A young woman happened to pass by. All continued as before to meditate on God, except one of them, who cast sidelong glances at her. Before becoming a monk, he had been the father of 3 children. If you make a solution of garlic in a cup, won't it be hard to remove the smell from it? Can a worthless tree like the babui produce mangoes? Of course, such a thing may become possible through the occult powers of a yogi. But can everyone acquire such powers? When have worldly people time to think of God? A man wanted to engage a Pandit who could explain the Bhagavad to him. His friend said, I know of an excellent Pandit. But there is one difficulty. He does a great deal of farming. He has 4 ploughs and 8 bullocks and is always busy with them. He has no leisure. Thereupon the man said, I don't care for a Pandit who has no leisure. I am not looking for a Bhagavata scholar burdened with ploughs and bullocks. I want a Pandit who can really expound the sacred book to me. There was a king who used to listen daily to a Pandit's exposition of the Bhagavad. Every day, at the end of their study, the Pandit would ask the king, O king, have you understood what I have read? To this question, the king would daily give the same reply. Sir, you had better understand it first yourself. Each day, when the Pandit returned home, he would ponder the meaning of the king's words. He was a pious man, devoted to prayer and meditation. Gradually, he came to his senses and realized that the only real thing in the world is the lotus feet of God, and that all else is illusory. He felt dispassionate for the world and took up the life of a monk. As he was leaving the world, he sent a man to the king with a message. Yes, O king, now I have understood.